Hey, it's Patrick. I'm going to show you how to build something fun in Create. This is a SQL generator that shows you not just SQL commands and explains how to write them, but it also shows you the output. So let's try it out. Okay, let's say, make me a table for movies with titles and ratings. I'll hit enter. And here, it'll tell me what SQL I would need to write to do this, and what's going on and explain why. And then it'll also show me some sample data right over here. Let's say I want to add box office results to the table. I can hit enter. Cool. So you can see here, it added box office results to the table that I've got. So super simple. Let me show you how I built this, and we're going to go through step by step. So I'll just go ahead, start a new Create project. Let's say this will be a SQL generator app that displays sample tables. Let's say there should be two panes. Left pane is going to be a chat interface using, let's do ChatGPT. You could also use Anthropic 3.5 Sonnet or other models too, but let's just do ChatGPT, keep this one simple, to generate SQL from a user's description, user's input. Okay, cool. And then we'll say the right pane, show a table with sample data for the user's query, for the generated query. So I'll go ahead and hit generate. This will build. All right, as it's going, and I can kind of see the style coming in. Let's say I want to have a little bit more fun with it. Come over here, I'll go to our style guides. Let's do something fun. Let's pick the noon style, and just to show you this is working, let's go ahead and see. All right, make me a table for baseball teams with World Series wins. Go ahead and enter. Cool. So you can see here, it's generating the baseball teams query. It's showing some sample data, but the data is not really exactly what I want. I also am going to want to kind of format this. Let's generate one more time just to get the new style from the style guide that we put. So I'm going to go ahead and hit generate. This will rebuild it with the noon style. Okay, so now I've got kind of the fun new style here. Let's try one more time. Yeah, make a table for movies with title and rating. It's okay if I make some typos. Cool, and you can see we've got the fun colors and style and things like this. All right, so this is showing markdown data, and let's go ahead and clean that up, and let's say use markdown renderer to format the results. So this will just clean up the output a little bit and use some nice formatting. Oh, let's try regenerating, actually. Sometimes you can run into little errors, and it's super easy to just regenerate, get something new. Okay, here's the SQL generator. Let's try this again. All right, for movies with titles and ratings. Cool. So as you can see here, it's giving me some nicely formatted SQL. It's explaining what's going on, and I've got some data over here. But as you can see, this doesn't exactly match the data that I wanted. The sample data should be based on the SQL query that was outputted in the chat code. Let's try again. Okay, let's try one more time. So we got a new output. Let's go give it a try. So here's the data you'd see. All right, now let's try to figure out what's going on here. Let's take a look at the code real quick. Provide sample data for the query. Let's say actually what I want is just with the SQL data and a brief explanation. Okay, so I'll update the code. You can always jump in here and make small changes like that if you want to. Let's go now and say let's also use ChatGPT for this. Take the output from the left pane and generate HTML code for the SQL from the output. Should then display the HTML code. All right, let's hit generate. Okay, and as you see, I'm kind of hitting the totally restart one. You can also generate and iterate. This is why I'm getting kind of fun new looks and feels as I do it. So, all right, let's put it in. Make me a table for movies with title and rating. Let's generate the SQL. Cool. So here's the SQL with a brief explanation, and it's continuing to load. Cool. Cool. All right, so here we're getting the output. Well, let's kind of figure out what's going on here. We actually want to just display this as HTML. So let's go in, let's just clean this up really quickly. Cool. Let's say return the HTML code only. I don't want an explanation for this one. Okay, so let's update this. And then when I come down here the markdown renderer is getting applied to the SQL output, which we want for our explanation. But over here for the table HTML, I actually want to do something different. I just want to display this as HTML. So let's come in and take a look at the code really quickly. And I want to actually do this. I want to do a div that is setting the inner HTML. We come back over here and let's go ahead and do this. Cool. So I know it's the table HTML. You can see it named the variable a little bit differently in the last generation. I'll go ahead and hit update. Cool. All right. So now let's try this out. Okay. Make me a table for baseball teams and World Series wins. Let's generate the SQL. Let's see what happens. Cool. So here's the output with a little explanation, formatted nicely. And here you can see we're getting a nicely formatted table. Okay. And I can come in here, I can tweak the prompt. Let's try this one more time. Let's see if I can get the not include any explanation update. I can also kind of give these adjustments here in the prompt. Sometimes it's fun to go back and forth. All right, so let's try one more time. Make me a table for NFL teams and Super Bowl wins. Generate SQL. All right, so here's the outputted SQL and an explanation. And here we've got some outputted code, which is looking nice. And I could go here, I could play with the prompt a little bit more, try to tweak some things and change it up. But as you can see, it doesn't take too much time at all to get something that's fun and generating code. So let's try just one final thing. Now that we know that it's working, let's generate one more time from scratch and see what happens. Cool, so we got a slightly new layout, maybe a little bit closer to the first one. Let's give them a table for movies and box office. Cool. Here's the fun output, and the generated table should appear here in a second. Cool. Once again, it's giving me a bit of an explanation, some other things too. Let's go back into the code. Let's fix it. Cool. Generate HTML for the SQL. Do not include any explanation. Just return the code. Cool. And we want to do the set HTML again. So let's view the code over here. Let's grab this. Cool. Come back. Okay, let's give this a go. A table for national parks and annual visitors. Generate SQL. So here's the fun output, and here's the result. So as you can see, really easy to get some fun interactive tools. You can tweak it, you can play with it, you can kind of keep iterating on the prompt, get it exactly how you like. I'm excited to see what you build.